Hi, that's up close and personal. Alright y'all, today we're doing juice extracting. We're going to be making apple juice, concentrate, tomato juice, also concentrate. We'll explain how it works as we're doing it. We bought this online. It is 11 quarts, so we can do a lot of volume at one time. It's made by Cooking Home, stainless steel. Anything you do for canning, try to stay away from aluminum. You want to do stainless steel. Okay? Several pieces to it. It's really quick and easy. You got your bottom pan with the little groove. This is what you put your water in. You only need to put it right here, some little marks, about half full. If you go more than that, when it starts to boil, you're going to just get a mess on your stove, burn water. Then you're going to have, this is what the juice, or what your, this is what your juice will fall into. So you want to put that second. Like I was saying, this is the juice collector, as the juices from the whole fruits. You put whole fruits in here. You don't have to peel them. You just want to make sure they're washed and any bad parts cut off of it. But once you set this on top and all your whole vegetables or fruits go in, these holes here allows the juice from the steam to collect in here. This bottom has a V, which means anything from here, with the exception of this solid piece, will drain into the juice collector. So that it does not overflow, it has a valve here that's attached with a clamp. Easily hooks onto the side, but as it starts to fill, you can easily take your whatever size jar you want to start canning. This is a quart. We do quarts and pints. You just release the valve and the juice goes right into your container that you're keeping for canning. Okay, and so the last piece, of course, is the lid. It's snug. So there's your 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, 5 with your tubing. It comes with an extra tube, because believe me, if you can and juice as much as we do, you're going to wear this out in no time. So it comes with an extra. Alright, so anyway, this unit right here, online, Amazon, you can get it for under $150. And once again, you're looking for stainless steel. I think they have only a couple sizes, but I chose the 11 quart because it does enough. I can do a whole bushel or case, however you want to word it, of tomatoes in about 3 hours. That's a lot. Because there's no peeling, there's no dicing. You put the fruit, the vegetables whole right on in there, and the steam does all your work. Main thing you got to do is make sure you're not going to allow this to overflow. So you want to constantly keep an eye on that, and also do not let your water run dry in the bottom. Alright, along with our juice extracting today, I still had about a quarter bushel of pickling cucumbers. They're all about the same size, not a lot of funky shapes and curves. And I specifically left these out because these are going to be my really heavy garlic dill pickles. My husband, my father, we love garlic dill pickles. So I'm going to do, like I said, about a quarter bushel, nothing but the spears, with heavy garlic and dill. That finishes off the pickling of pickles this time. So we'll see you in a bit for the juicing. Okay, what we got to do now, first of all, I'm going to show you, we've got our water boiling. We've got our juicer extractor out to the side. Once we come back over here to the sink, as long as the apple is clean and you take the stem and or leaves out, you want to make sure there's no bad spots on the apple. You just don't. You can half them, quarter them, or leave them whole. We leave them whole, okay? So once you get all your apples washed and all the stems removed, then you just simply take them right on over to your pot. And you're just going to place the apples in. There's several different things that you can do with these apples. You're going to have one big mushy, hardly no juice whatsoever in these apples when they are done. All the juice being extracted out of them. We make 100% pure concentrate apple juice.
Why do you put the apples in there so nicely and perfect?
So I can fit as many as I can in the pot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many you think you can fit in the pot?
I have no idea because these are some really huge apples.
Alright guys, we have our apples steaming in here. They're looking nice. It's a lot of steam.
Well, these are my, the water's a little cooled off a little. What I do is I scald my jars. I've got so far about 6 pints. That's going to be for my cucumbers right off the bat. I've got about 3 of these large quarts built up, cleaned up, ready for the apple juice to start coming out. And as we go along, we'll keep you posted. Okay, when I'm packing pickles, these spears, I can get about 4 to 4.5 of those cucumbers I showed you earlier in this jar. You want them tight. You definitely want them below the 1-inch line because that's where you're going to fill your solution. What we're doing now, we're checking. It started filling up with fluid, with the pure juice. So what we're going to do is we've got our jar because it will be hot coming out. I just put this in and I release the clip. And the apple juice will just start filling up. Because remember, you do not want it to overflow inside your pot. So we're probably already going to get a full quart, if not 2, just within the first, I don't know, maybe 25 minutes. Okay, we've got our first quart hot, fresh, concentrate apple juice. Nothing added. I'm taking my lid, because my top is of course wiped off. Put my lid on there. Put my ring. Ooh, that's hot. Just hand tight. And me, to get that seal really hot before I get ready to give our juice a 10-minute bath in the canner, not the pressure canner, but just call it a warm bath. We'll show you when it gets to that part. I like to turn my jars upside down. That allows this rubber ring on the inside of these lids to get good and hot and help seal, okay? So, we'll see you on part 2. Okay, last stages. I got 5 pints of apple juice ready to be put in the water bath for up to 15 minutes for the pints. And then when that is done, the jars will be sealed, and then I will date them, label them what they are, put them on a shelf. Okay, after the canning process, here it is. These cooled, not a whole lot, but they've cooled down enough, and they've all sealed. I put apple, of course we see it's juice, and I always just put the month and the year. And we're gonna have about 8 pints and 5 to 6 quarts out of 1 bushel of apples. Y'all, thanks for watching. So like and subscribe. But before you go, let me show you what the mush looks like after the apples. This is the apples that the juice came out of. Don't look like a lot, but there's actually a 1/4 bushel here. Now, if we were to peel the apples before putting them into the steam juicer, this here will turn into applesauce. It's pretty tasty. It's almost bitter though, but you can have another use for that pulp. And unlike our other juice, it comes out pretty dry, almost like a paper towel. This is pretty moist. You can, once again, if the apples were peeled, you could take that mush. It's too fine to be an applesauce, in case you add sugar and do a couple more things to it. But you can that pulp, and people that use applesauce for their cakes and baking goods because they can't use oil, this is a perfect item to use. And maybe out of the next 3 to 4 cases I have, we may do some of that. Matter of fact, I know we will. But y'all have a good night. Thank you, and see you next canning.